YouTube, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I am finally dropping my complete guide on how to drop V2 rockets in Vanguard and how I think is the best possible way to do it. And before we begin, I hope you guys really are enjoying my content. So if you guys are, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps me as a small content creator push out my content a little bit more. And if you want to find your way back to my channel, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so tip number one is knowing the kill streaks that are gonna help you get that V2 rocket the best way. And those kill streaks are the UAV, guard dogs, and the VSAT. Now, why I use the UAV? Obviously, it helps your teammates know where the people are, and then it'll help you get your initial kills working up to the dogs. But what's really helpful in this game is when your teammates start getting multiple UAVs, it gives you that little mini VSAT, but it doesn't show ghosted players, so you have to be a little bit careful, still know where your opponents are, still play a little bit slow and play a little bit smarter. And know the map, obviously, but it'll really help you get to your guard dogs. And once that happens, your guard dogs play such a huge role. Other than like the bombing run will probably get you killed with your own bombing run. Like, it's weird, I die more to it than it actually get kills for me. So I switched over to the guard dogs, and what I noticed with the guard dogs is that it distracts your opponent so freaking much. They'll be shooting at it and you'll be getting a 3-piece easily, no problem, and just gets you your VSAT. And now once you get your VSAT, you kind of know where you are. Like, you're at like a 12 gun streak, 13, 14, 15, you know you're right around the middle. You only need about less than 10, 12 kills to get your V2 rocket. And what the VSAT is really helpful for, it lasts for about a minute. It actually shows you every single enemy on the map, and basically once you know where everyone is, included ghosted players, that's when you want to really push up the pace, start playing a little bit more aggressive. You don't have to watch your back because it will be showing you the ghosted players. But don't run into a team of like 5 players in one room. That will obviously not help, and it'll get you killed. So that's tip number one for you guys. Now moving on to tip number two. Alright, so tip number two is really important, and what it is essentially is you guys have to know the map you're playing on. And I know the game has only come out literally 3 days ago, came out on Friday, and a lot of you guys are still getting to know the game a lot, but I have now figured out what maps work for me the best. I figured out what spawns happen, because you guys know the spawns are really awful in this game. You'll get shot in the back literally every 2 seconds if you don't realize when the spawns will flip. If you're playing domination or the hard point changes, you guys need to keep that in the back of your head, and you need to learn where the spawns happen, where the rotation of the enemy players will be after the hard point moves. You also need to know when you're playing domination when or where they can spawn if they capture B. It's really important you guys start to get a feel of that when you're playing these maps, and kind of put it in the back of your head, and it'll help you know where they're going to be spawning and when the map flips its spawn, which is a huge problem right now I think in the game, because you can never guess it. It just happens randomly. But then you can start learning it, and you can start guessing what's going to happen if you don't see an enemy in that general direction in the next like 2 minutes or something like that. So knowing your spawns and where they're going to spawn is a huge thing. And then, for example, I'm playing on Dome, and I knew the power spot, and I knew the power spot is on the back of the map and this like little ledge that you're seeing in the gameplay. And you'll see that I held this spot for the longest time because I knew where the hard point was. They're only going to be spawning in the outside foyer, or like in the inside or in the back of the map, and I could really hold the range because the Volk is really good at range, and I was picking off people like no problem. And it really helped me because I knew where the map spawns were and where they're going to be spawning when the hard points moved. And if you guys know that and understand where the spawns are going to be, you're going to have an easier time picking off people and have a less chance of getting shot in the back. And as you guys can tell from this gameplay, I held this spot really well, and I was moving around knowing and looking for people where they were because I already knew the spawning system on this map. So make sure you guys know that. Alright, so the last tip is pretty simple, guys, and it's knowing what guns you're most comfortable with. I'm really comfortable with assault rifles. I know their recoil pattern. I know where their advantages are and where their disadvantages are. So with the Volk, I really like it, and same with the STG. That was my first nuke with the STG, and I knew it was really good at range, so I played a position where I could keep range, and it's really dominant at medium range as well. So any assault rifle is really dominant medium to long range. So I would definitely recommend using medium to long range guns if you aren't very highly skilled up close and personal. I'm not very good right now with the movement, so I use assault rifles, and I try to pick off people at range. It doesn't mean I'm a camper. I'm playing the power positions. I'm using what the gun is designated to do and its advantages. I know it. There's no reason to using an assault rifle like a submachine gun because you'll be beat by an MP40, no problem. So knowing what guns you're most comfortable with, use them. If you're comfortable with SMG, know its recoil pattern, know it inside out, and that will definitely help you win more gunfights. Don't use anything you're not comfortable with, because you'll just die and you won't get the V2 rocket. You'll die one off of it. We don't want that, right? So anyways, guys, make sure you guys hit the like button if you guys did enjoy this video. Please leave any feedback if you think I can improve or missed a tip or trick. But this is early on. I definitely will come out with more tips and tricks as I learn the game a little bit more. So guys, make sure to hit the subscribe button if you do want to watch that video when it comes out. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. And enjoy the nuke. And I hope you guys always get more nukes with these tips. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry guys, I'm gonna end this game.
Oh, no way. You got another one?
Yeah.
Love it.
Fuck these guys. They're so ass.
Even though they're like not that good, I still like just get shot in the back and shit.
Yeah, I was just shitting on them. That was our first game on too.
Yeah.